We are talking about drug addicts, families living with family members who are drug addicts. Which one of my brothers is a really bad drug addict. I'm talking pills. I'm talking heroin. I think he said crack, and a bunch of like other prescription pills. Adjust this actually. There we go. That should be better. And families dealing with drug addicts. A lot of time, as I tell a lot of people, they a lot of time they don't have any control over what they do. Most of the time, they don't have any control over what they do. So, a lot of time they cause stress on families. If you saw like Breaking Bad and you see the stress that some of them put on their families, it's really sad, but it's reality. Like it's just what happens. And my camera keeps going sideways. So I'm gonna do this. Let's see if this helps. Let's see if this helps. It's gonna stay still. So we rocking right now because I'm recording this on my boat. But drug addicts, they cause a lot of stress, and in their families they cause like me myself, even with my brother, he causes a lot of anxiety in my life. Just waking up to like weird texts and videos. He talked about like raping our mom and raping his like 8, 9 year old daughter. Just a bunch of crazy stuff. Light people talking about lighting people on fire, lighting himself on fire, killing himself. Just sent me a video even recently, him like taking pills and stuff like that, and swallowing them and then throwing them up all and doing all this stuff on video. And a lot of time, people do this stuff for attention, but a lot of time, they even if they just doing it for attention, they can also kill themselves in the process. So, and with the position that most people are in, drug addicts are usually homeless. They're usually out on the streets somewhere, and it's weird because the system really doesn't help with a lot of that. They have a system in Minnesota that supposedly helps with that, but it really doesn't. They put you in the system just to get you back out there on the streets, just to get you back into the system, because the system doesn't get money. The drug addict system, Alcoholics Anonymous, also they don't get. They're not running just off like a charity or something like that. They're running off government funds. So if they don't have a certain amount of people going through the programs, they lose that funding. And a lot of time they don't want to lose the funding. They want to keep the programs going, not necessarily to help people, but just to keep collecting a check themselves, because they still got to feed themselves and not be homeless. Um, so a lot of time they run the drug addicts through the program. They get them into these places, and then my dad, who was also a drug addict, said that they give you these so-called accountability partners, and what these partners are supposed to do is help you when you start thinking about going back to drugs and drinking. They're supposed to help you not do that. And he says it's kind of a scam, because a lot of time they're working with the people in the home in order to get you back on drugs. So it's a really sad situation, but that's how everything plays out right now. But dealing with the anxiety and the stress of having a family member that's a drug addict, uh, I say have hobbies. Like, do something with your time that can take your mind off of. Of course, you always, especially if it's your child or something like that. If you're the mother or the father, you don't know what to do when dealing with a family member that's a drug addict. The best thing you can do is, for one, go get some, go to a psychiatrist. Go to a psychiatrist. Have someone professionally that you can talk to and can listen to your concerns, and where you can voice your opinions and possibly get, um, some great professional advice. Because a lot of time people won't go, they try and deal with that themselves. And sometimes, depending on your personality, it's not something that you can just deal with yourself. It's something that you need someone else's help with. And talking to your family, a lot of times, especially if you don't have a good listener in the family, talking to your family or friends about situations like that, you can feel vulnerable and in a place where they will, you feel judged, especially if it's like your son or your daughter. You feel judged, And when you go to psychiatrists, you won't feel judged. You know what I'm saying? They make you feel comfortable. You're able to talk to them about anything. It's completely confidential, and it's just a great way to keep yourself from crying and keep yourself from worrying and stressing. It gives you, it's not going to give you complete peace because that person is still out there. You wonder what they're doing, but it does give you a lot more peace of mind than you would have had if you didn't go. That you wouldn't have had if you didn't go to see a psychiatrist to talk about things like that. So I tell everybody, when you're dealing with family members like that, I guess just, you can talk to them until you're blue in the face, but the effect that drugs have on your brain, it takes away the logical aspect of reality. It takes away it takes away what makes sense and replaces it a lot of times. That's why sometimes you be like, oh, they're so normal, and then next thing you know, they send you text messages about burning down your house and peeing on your corpse or something like that. Like, and that's a real text that actually I got from my brother before. So, it's stressful. It's anxiety driven, and it's just one of those parts of life that we have to deal with. That sometimes there's just no programs out. There's sometimes programs out there that take advantage of that, and you have to look out for those also. If you plan on putting the person that you care about inside of one of those programs, you got to really take an objective look at the company, how they operate, the people who are operating it, because a lot of times, people they'll tell you. You can talk to some of the people in the program before you put somebody that you care about in one of these programs, because they'll tell you, like, if it's just one thing that they use to recycle people back through the program to keep getting funding from the government to keep their paychecks coming in. A lot of times they don't actually care about really helping the people that's there. They say, oh, they're gonna be back on drugs anyway, but you know what I'm saying? If you help them, they might not be on drugs. They might not go back to drugs. There are people who have successfully come out of these programs before, but it's up to that person to make that decision if they're gonna spend the rest of their life doing drugs and drinking, or if they aren't. So, yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. So, the family life of dealing with a drug addict messes with you up here. You know what I'm saying? It can cause you to just be in bed all day sometimes, and worry and stress. But get a hobby. I do archery, which is very relaxing. Some people like to do yoga. Some people go play basketball. I like to lift weights also. I go and lift just when I start to feel the anxiety coming on, and it helps out either 100% or I end up feeling better than I was before I didn't work out. Archery really takes my mind completely off of it, so I should probably do that every time I get anxiety. Or you can go smoke weed or something like that. Like that helps also tremendously. Do that every so often. But yeah, try it out. So people living with family members with drug addictions, any type of crazy addictions that cause them to be out on the street, causes you anxiety, worry, depression, stress. Look into some of those things. Look into getting some. Looking to find a good psychiatrist. Look into taking on one of your hobbies. And anytime you start feeling that anxiety, stress, or thinking about that person, go do one of those activities. That's all I got to say about that. If y'all got any other suggestions on what to do when you start to feel that stress, anxiety, depression, let me know in the comments below. I think it'll help out a lot of people. It definitely helped me out. I'll be reading them because the family that I have, I would definitely need it. So let me know, and yeah, we're gonna talk later. Hopefully next time with a shirt on.